Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to discuss some interesting trends in the pharma CDMO business sector. So I came across these two companies called Ami Organics and Laurus Labs, and I was looking at the numbers of those companies as well as the performance. And interestingly, I found this interesting correlation here. If you look कि जब ये निफ्टी जो है ये इसने टॉप ऑलमोस्ट बनाया था अराउंड अगस्त या नहीं अक्टूबर अक्टूबर 24 राइट। तो ये अक्टूबर 24 का टॉप है और उसके बाद निफ्टी निफ्टी पूरा करेक्शन मोड में चला गया। इट्स लाइक फॉलन बाय ऑलमोस्ट more than 10-12%, राइट। बट इफ यू लुक एट दीज कंपनीज, ये कंपनी वो पॉइंट से विच इज सितंबर 24 से दे आर इन अप ट्रेंड। दिस अमी ऑर्गेनिक इज इन अप ट्रेंड। Then look at this. Laurus Lab is in uptrend. So these two companies have beaten the Nifty significantly. Now why they have beaten the Nifty? Because सब लोग बोलते रहते कि मार्केट डाउन है तो कोई कोई पैसा बना नहीं रहा है, किसी कोई कंपनी चल नहीं रही है। बट लुक एट दीज टू कंपनीज, दे आर डूइंग एग्जैक्टली अपोजिट। And it is very interesting to understand what is happening in these companies, and we should also find such companies, such good businesses which market ka jo downturn, it doesn't affect really these companies. So let's dive into it. Let's get started with the Laurus Lab first. So let's look at the business model of the Laurus Lab. It is run by Dr. Satyanarayan Chava, and the business model is again very simple. तो basically इनका क्या है, जेनेरिक बिजनेस एंड सीडीएमओ बिजनेस, ये दो बिजनेस इनके वर्टिकल्स हैं। तो जेनेरिक बिजनेस और सीडीएमओ का अगर हम लोग स्प्लिट देखेंगे तो स्प्लिट ये है, ये जो मैं दिखा रहा हूँ यहाँ पे, दिस इज लाइक फ्रॉम लास्ट 3 to 4 years ये लोग कैसे स्प्लिट शिफ्ट हुआ है। सो लास्ट 4 years पहले ये जेनेरिक बिजनेस लाइक अराउंड 87% होता था और सीडीएमओ लाइक 13% ही होता था, राइट। नाउ what they are doing, they are changing the product mix to like generic business धीरे धीरे कम हो रहा है, which is 72%, and CDMO business is increasing, almost doubled to 28%. Now this product mix is changed, and this is changed, and because of that you are saying that मार्जिन का एक्सपांशन हो रहा है, पैट मार्जिन का एक्सपांशन हो रहा है, एंड इट इज ऑल बिकॉज ऑफ दैट। नाउ ये जो जेनेरिक बिजनेस है इसमें भी दो बाइफर्केशन है, एक एंटी रेट्रोवायरल थेरेपी होता है और एक नॉन एंटी रेट्रोवायरल थेरेपी लाइक रेगुलर मेडिसिन जो अपने। तो एंटी रेट्रोवायरल थेरेपी का जो भी इनका रेवेन्यू ये था, शेयर था, वो भी फ्रॉम 67% इट हैज रिड्यूस टू 46%। ऑब्वियसली द एड्स का जो भी जितना भी पेशेंट है अभी वो इतना बड़ा इंडिकेशन नहीं रहा, एंड नॉन एआरवी इज लाइक they are increasing from 20% to 26%। तो इसमें जो क्रॉनिक थेरेपीज लाइक डायबिटीज या फिर एंटीसाइकोटिक्स वो सब इसमें मेडिसिन हैं, राइट। तो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट जेनेरिक बिजनेस विच इज नाउ क्लॉकिंग like 72% of total revenue, and CDMO is like 28%, which is, that is the catch. I mean, that really the story behind this company. If you look at the revenue here, ये बाइफर्केशन दिया हुआ है यहाँ पे, तो लाइक सीडीएमओ और जेनेरिक बिजनेस का, तो उसमें स्मॉल मॉलिक्यूल्स एंड बायोलॉजिकल मॉलिक्यूल्स विच आर बिग मॉलिक्यूल्स। इफ यू लुक एट दिस, सीडीएमओ business is on fire, which is like 50% growth from FY24, if you look at this, right। और बायोलॉजिक्स में अभी कोई ग्रोथ नहीं है, बट फ्यूचर में ये ग्रोथ हो सकता है, बिकॉज दिस जस्ट दे आर स्टार्टिंग ऑन दिस। एंड दिस जेनेरिक बिजनेस में एपीआई एंड फॉर्मुलेशन बिजनेस में थोड़ा ग्रोथ है, विच इज लाइक 12% ग्रोथ, बट एपीआई बिजनेस इज सॉफ्टर, it's subdued. So the story is this, that CDMO is firing for this company, and what is changing basically। तो इसको आपको थोड़ा सा समझने के लिए आपको ना इसका केपेक्स का स्टोरी समझना पड़ेगा। सो फ्रॉम 2022 they started putting capex for their different facilities to 2025 they almost invested like 32,000 crores, right। तो अगर आप देखोगे यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा calculation in terms of asset turnover ratio, so this is like net sales divided by total assets। so if you see here, when asset turnover ratio was more than 1, ये जो कोविड के टाइम का जो फेज था, so it was more than 1, it went up to like 1.5। at that time their growth was phenomenal, right। growth was good, but जैसे जैसे दे स्टार्टेड कैपेक्स फ्रॉम 2022, आई सेड 2022 से उन्होंने कैपेक्स करना स्टार्ट किया, देन द एसेट टर्नओवर रेशियो फेल टू लाइक 0.77 टाइम्स, राइट। सो Sales were not doing good. If you look at the historical sales also for Laurus Labs, if you look at the sales, yes. So this is like post COVID period. Let's look at the sales का growth. ये देखिए, ये पूरा negative में है, राइट. एंड देन अब ये थोड़ा थोड़ा पिक करना स्टार्ट किया है, तो ये वही मैं आपको बताने की कोशिश कर रहा हूँ कि ये वही जो है वो एसेट टर्नओवर, नाउ द एसेट टर्नओवर रेशियो स्टार्टेड पिकिंग अप व्हिच इज नाउ अप ट्रेंड में दिख रहा है धीरे धीरे. नाउ ये क्यों हुआ था, यहाँ पे हाई कैपेक्स का इंटेंसिटी था, और जो सीडीएमओ के जो उनके प्रोजेक्ट्स थे उनका काम चल रहा था, वो अभी उनका दे स्टार्टेड डिलीवरिंग दोज प्रोजेक्ट्स, हाई मार्जिन प्रोजेक्ट्स. तो वही कंपनी बता रही है कि जो एग्जीक्यूशन है अभी वो दे स्टार्टेड delivering those product. But the thing is that the gross margin है, even in tough period, the gross margin they maintain gross margin of 54%, right? That is very important, right? So this is all about their business, I mean generic and CDMO business, and you understood that what is exactly happening. Now let's go little deeper into this. क्या ये जो केपेक्स किया इन्होंने 32,000 का, तो वो क्यों किया, तो उन्होंने एक माइक्रोबियल फर्मेंटेशन फैसिलिटी, जो बायोलॉजिक्स एपीआई जो होते हैं उनको बनाने के लिए जो लगती है, उसके लिए उन्होंने वाइजैक में उसको इन्वेस्ट किया है वहाँ पे. एंड दैट फैसिलिटी विल कम ऑनलाइन लाइक इन जून 2025. So that will again start adding up into the revenues. Then this CDMO capacity expansion they have taken across all their lines, production lines, right? So that will definitely going to help in expanding the CDMO business, because these guys are anticipating growth in the CDMO kind of business, right? Now they have also expanded their R&D center for CDMO activities in Hyderabad, and they are building intermediate API manufacturing blocks line, and the drug product expansion line is also building at the Vizag side. So all these kind of डिटेल्ड एंड वेरी थरो और बहुत बड़ा एक्सपांशन ये लोग ने किया है. तो इनके जो ऑनगोइंग प्रोजेक्ट्स लाइक 3 ड्रग सब्सटेंसेस, 1 ड्रग प्रोडक्ट, 1 बायोलॉजिक्स एंड 2 सेल एंड जीन. तो ये सब जो बायो और सेल जीन जो है, ये बेसिकली जो बायोलॉजिक्स होते हैं उसके लिए ये सब है. तो if you look at the bifurcation of 32,000 crores wala capacity, so they said that 51% of that 32,000 crores wala assets, it's like ऑपरेशनलाइज, तो वो 1600 करोड़ का ऑपरेशनलाइज हो चुका है. 1,000 करोड़ का रैंप अप में है, तो ये दिस नंबर इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. 1,000 करोड़ इन रैंप अप, दैट मीन्स इन द नेक्स्ट फाइनेंशियल ईयर this 1,000 crores could add up to the revenue, and then ongoing capex is going on only 16%, which is almost like 512 crores. Now this number you keep in mind, 1,000 crores, because this 1,600 crores are already added into the top line revenues. Now it is interesting to see how this number will add, right? So let's understand the growth drivers for this company in a very simple terms, like. So the very important growth driver in the short term is what CDMO business. So CDMO business is like firing 49% growth that they are reporting, and it will continue to grow up since there are multiple active pipeline projects which the company is talking about. So this is all about CDMO business. It says that CDMO pipeline continues to expand with a shift towards increased big pharma providing support to it. Right now, there is a bio business also. In bio business, what they have done is like there is an investment firm called Eight Roads, and they have invested like around 120 crores into this in their bio business. And with the help of that, they have established a fermentation site at Vizag, which I just spoken about. So it will open by 2026. And API business is soft, right? But they have like formulation development facility is they have manufactured that line, and it will come online in December 25. So if you see here, majority of their investment is like coming out, they will execute those lines by the end of 25 or to FY26. Then this is interesting that there is a company called KRKA, and they formed a JV with that company, and they bought a land in Hyderabad actually. And if you see here, this they are going to build a facility for what oral solids. अब oral solids में जो phase 1 है वो oncology जो कैंसर वाले APIs होते हैं, कैंसर वाले ड्रग्स होते हैं, उसके लिए they are going to make this facility. That is phase 1, and then phase 2 will be regular kind of oral solids. So this facility will come live in June 25, and this facility will cater to all markets including India and US also. ARV business, which is anti-retroviral business, which I spoke, it's declining business, so nothing to talk about that business. Now, this interesting business is CAR T cell therapy. Now, yeah, I think IIT Bombay based invention tha, and then it got commercialized. Now, in that also, this company is kind of marketing this business and expanding this product into various hospitals. And if you see here, the growth is like almost 10 crore से ये प्रोडक्ट हो गया 62%, 6 times growth यहाँ पे दिख रहा है. And they are positive on this, so we need to track this how this goes. But this is interesting, CAR T cell therapy. And in gene therapy, again, in gene therapy they are investing like more than 20 million US dollars in again GMP Hyderabad facility, which will come online by March 26th. So lot of things happening in this company, and these are all interesting things which will definitely add to the top line, since this 32,000 crores of capex is very thoughtful, and it has kind of diversified the business of the Laurus to, definitely, this kind of businesses have good margins, and maybe we'll be able to see the good EBITDA margin and PAT margin in the future. So this is all about Laurus Labs. If you look at the numbers, also numbers are telling the same story. uh, the earlier quarters, like 5 to 6 quarters, were subdued, and immediately this quarter has shown this growth of 19% year on year because of the CDMO business, right? And the EBITDA margin is also on a positive trend, which is like from 14% it is to 24%. um, Gross margin, obviously I spoken about 54%. In the con call, the management is again, they're not guiding on the full year revenue, but they're guiding on a EBITDA margin which is north of 22%. So that's a good thing. uh, this capex I spoken about, PAT growth is also, it's like positive, and in the current quarter they got operating leverage also, which is like 210% in the PAT margin expand PAT margin growth, right? So ROE is also on a positive trend. Inventory and receivables are controlled; they are up. So this is all about the Laurus Labs. I think this is a positive setup. Numbers are looking good. The growth story is looking good. All we need to do is to track and accordingly take a decision. Now let's dive into the AMI Organics, which is another interesting story. So in AMI Organics, if you look at this, AMI Organics is like, it is run by Mr. Naresh Kumar Patel. Now their business is again divided into two verticals. It's like advanced intermediates and specialty chemicals. If you see, like, advanced intermediates, it's like 79% to 80% of their whole revenue comes from advanced intermediates, and then 21% from specialty chemicals, and it is export oriented business. If you see here, 76% revenue from export and 24% from domestic. So export business is continuously growing up. Now, this let's understand these advanced intermediates. So these advanced intermediates is like, the APIs which they are supplying to the big pharma, actually innovator pharmas, not generic pharmas. It's like 95% in the chronic therapy focus is there, and it is backward integrated. All these intermediates are backward integrated, therefore their production cost is lower. And since the raw material cost for these companies have already bottomed out, therefore they are seeing this operating leverage in their numbers also. Now, if you see this, this is interesting stuff. Then if you break the 79% into, bifurcation, like 10% of that 79% comes from CDMO, which is around 80 crores. 40% is like company supplies NCE and intermediates to big pharma companies, and 50% is like NCE and intermediates to the emerging market. So this 40% is from regulated markets, 50% you can say from mix of regulated and non-regulated markets. All right. Now the story is this, that they want to grow this CDMO business to 1,000 crores. Remember this. Now it is 80 crores. Now they want to grow this to 1,000 crores, right? So there is a strong impetus on the CDMO business because these guys are seeing positive tailwinds here, and there are two facilities there. One is Surat facility, which is already, I mean, their commissioned facility, which is which is running. Now they additionally put up this Ankleshwar facility, and Ankleshwar facility will again complement the Surat facility, and it is already commercialized. I mean, there are two blocks. Block 2 is commercialized, and block 1 is by March 25. So this CDMO business will take 1,000 crores by FY 28, and right now the capacity utilization at Surat and Ankleshwar is like starting. So total capacity utilization is around 50 to 60%. Once this capacity utilization goes up, their revenue will start inflating. Now this is all about their growth driver number one, which is again CDMO. Remember this story. They want to hit 1,000 crores by FY 28. Now coming to the specialty chemicals, which is 21% of the revenue. Here there are two interesting stuffs which are happening. Apart from the regular specialty chemicals, if you see in all specialty chemical companies like ये amines वाला Balaji Amines और ये सब जो companies है, then Clean Science, Balaji Amines, and then आपका बहुत सारी जो कंपनीज है, आई डोंट रिमेंबर द नेम्स ऑफ ऑल द कंपनीज राइट नाउ, but every company is talking about there is softer demand in the specialty chemicals. Now what these guys have done, they have diversified the specialty chemicals into two important segments. One is semiconductor chemicals, which they actually supply the business through this Baba Fine Chemicals, which is only Indian player in the photoresist chemicals. They are supplying this chemical, so they're gung-ho on the conductor wala business, and electrolyte additives which are used in the battery. These two businesses, I think these two segments are sunrise sectors right now, semiconductor and electrolyte additives, and this company is entering into that. So what they're doing for battery business, like they added some capacity expansion there, and it will be done by H1 of FY 26. So initially they used to provide additives of two, number of additives were two. Now it has increased to 12. यहाँ से भी बहुत सारा बिजनेस आने वाला है कंपनी को. दूसरा जो है सेमीकंडक्टर बिजनेस, आपको तो पता ही है. सेमीकंडक्टर के इसमें ये लोग क्या कर रहे हैं, देयर आर टू टू जापानीज एंड वन, आई थिंक वन जापानीज एंड वन कोरियन कंपनी. दे सप्लाइंग केमिकल्स टू दीज कंपनीज. सो स्लोली ना ये भी रेवेन्यू में एड अप हो जाएगा. तो बेसिकली यहाँ पे सिंपल सी चीज समझने के लिए है कि तीन ग्रोथ ड्राइवर्स हैं. वन इज द सीडीएमओ बिजनेस, which they are very positive on. They already given the number. The other one is this battery business, and third one is the semiconductor business. That's it. इतना सिंपल है ये समझने के लिए. तो अगर हम इसका नंबर देखेंगे तो नंबर्स में भी आप देखोगे तो ये जो ग्रोथ था Q1 में FY 25, it was 15% revenue growth. Now it has increased to 43% and then 65%. Now expected Q4 is like 216%, which is ये normalized growth will come around 16% year on year. That's okay. I spoke about this EBITDA margin. EBITDA margin, what company is saying that currently their EBITDA margin is like 23.5% or around 23%, but with the rise of this CDMO business, battery business, and semiconductor business. By the way, semiconductor business or battery business में margin होता है 60%, right? So they're saying that this could go up to 27%. That's the peak, right? And this is conservative number they have given, because the competitors in this segment, they are posting a the EBITDA margin of 30% or more. So this number could go up. So this is one positive thing. PAT margin, if you see here, already it is increased. That's why they're getting, because they're getting an operating leverage here. PAT margin is also significantly increased from 8% to 16%. So everything is good. Now uh, I spoken about the capex in this CDMO in electrolyte, which is around 180 crores. If you look at the ROE is also positive trend, which is 3.5%. पहले था, अभी ये 8.7. तो ये ROE का भी expansion possible है. अभी ROE का expansion देखोगे तो companies का ROE 60-70% भी होता है. So ROE का expansion is quite possible here. अभी interesting चीज क्या था ना कि company पहले initially guidance दे रही थी 30% का, and now if you look at the recent the Q3 वाला con call, वहाँ पे they have increased the guidance to 30 to 35%, right? Because of this, again, CDMO business. Now what we should do, we should track this business. We should wait for the Q4 FY 25 का जो आएगा ना number, and then let's read through that con call and understand कि ये कितना expected है growth, और कितना company forecast कर रही है, whether these numbers are company holding or whether company is seeing any tailwind or not. So this is all about Ami Organic. It looks fantastic company to me. I mean, both Laurus as well as Ami Organics, both are fantastic companies. अगर आप दोनों का कंपैरिजन करके देखोगे कि दोनों के वर्टिकल्स अलग अलग है. Both are in CDMO business, but they're, if you look at the business, it's totally different business, and both are striving hard to get the good EBITDA margin, and definitely shareholders का value increase करने की बात ये लोग करते हैं. So that's that about about these two companies. And if you like this video, give it a like, share, and subscribe, and do share with your friends so that they can also learn, and knowledge sharing will happen. So thank you very much, and I'll see you in the next video.